Okay, good morning. Welcome to the Sports Talk with Kerry Wehmeyer show for Friday, June 11th. We're going to be going over today's news headlines. Also, we will have LSU baseball tonight at 6 o'clock. LSU will take on Tennessee in the Knoxville Regional, so we will have that game for you tonight around 6 o'clock. So we will be on the air. Let's go. Let's send our links out. If you want to be a guest on the show, links are going to be posted in Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. You can come in and be a guest, talk anything in the world of sports. That's fine with us. So go ahead and send that out to everyone. And I'll go ahead and send this out to Facebook, and we'll get started. Okay, all three networks, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter has the links. Let's go ahead and go through some news here on this Friday. Let's see what's happening in the world of sports. So I'm going to switch this out and we're going to set this up. Okay. Portland Trailblazers, Carmelo Anthony amongst five finalists for the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar Champion Award that's given out to the players that are committed to social justice in the country and stuff like that. So the players are Carmelo Anthony, Harrison Barnes, Drew Holiday, Tobias Harris, also Juan Toscano Anderson, that's another guy being nominated for those awards. So it looks like that's an award that's named after Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Five finalists will be watered down, and they'll be considered $100,000 award for. So I think this is a good, perfect award, to be honest with you, because this, like I said, these individuals that helps out the in social justice and stuff like that are the real heroes. So I think it once again, whoever wins this award, best of luck to them. Best of luck to the finalists. So this is from ESPN. Go to ESPN.com. Okay, Chinese official died during an investigation into the marathon death. So it looks like they have investigation going on. 21 runners last month was in an ultra marathon. There was a state TV reported. CCC TV said police were notified that a man jumped from the apartment and died upon investigators. So that was in Jingtang County. That's in China. Communist Party Secretary Lin Zabel. Murder homicide has been ruled out according to CCC TV. So that looks like that's not been, it's probably not a suicide or whatever. I mean, they had some kind of race or something, and some guy kind of jumped out of the an apartment and kind of fell to the ground, and most likely it's not going to be ruled a homicide. It has to be a lot of evidence to be considered a rude homicide. So reports issued. It was a May 22nd event. A failure to respond to once freezing rain, gale force winds. So they had some gale force winds going on in that race. So they're going to have to, like I said, they're going to have to find whoever did this situation. Because look, the Chinese, official said, look, if it was somebody, like I said, that was going into, they had 21 runners in that race. I mean, and then they had somebody that fell out of an apartment or something and died. So let's just, I mean, we don't know what happened. So once again, this is from ESPN. Go to ESPN.com. That's ESPN.com. Let's go ahead and see what else we can talk about here on this Friday. Okay, Donovan Mitchell scores 37 points to lead the Jazz in Game 2 win. Says he is fine after a late ankle injury, so it looks like he's going to be okay and will be playing. So he had 37 points in the game against the LA Clippers. That was in Game 2 of the Western Conference semifinals. So it looks like that's good news for Jazz fans in general. So once again, this is from ESPN. Go to ESPN.com. Okay, ex-Michigan State basketball player Kevin Paulin remains in jail with murder charge. So it looks in a murder case that was in Detroit. Defense attorney Andrew Blow asked for a bail, but looks like he's not going to get it. Paulin is 29 years old. Said little doing the arraignment. So looks like he is going to remain in jail. The Detroit Persian prep star played at Michigan State from 2010 to 14. So it looks like Tom Izzo said it was sad. I think about him. I feel bad for him. It's a shame that happened. Look, I'll be honest with you. If he did that murder, like I said, he should serve the time. He should, it's unfortunate that you got to fall into these circumstances, but the truth of the matter is, look, if you did something like that, he should, like I said, face the consequences of his actions. So once again, this is from ESPN. Go to ESPN.com. Okay, former Michigan football player said Bo Schembechler ignored warnings. Son's complaining about doctor's abuse. So it looks like this is from Dan Murphy. You can follow him at ESPN. Let me hear. We're going to let you hear.
My father sent me to Dr. Robert Anderson for my first physical exam around 1969. I was in the 4th grade. But what Dr. Anderson did made me uncomfortable. He fondled my genitals and conducted an invasive rectal exam with his finger. When Bo got home, I told him what happened. That did not go well. I tried to tell him repeatedly, but my effort earned me a punch in the chest.
Matt Schembechler, alongside 2 former Wolverine football players, Daniel Kwiatkowski and Gilvani Johnson, and their attorneys held a press conference to spotlight what they allege was a culture of abuse at Michigan. Johnson said he reported Anderson's behavior directly to Bo, who he said would even threaten players with trips to the doctor.
Only now do I realize how crazy it was to threaten rape as a way of motivating players to work harder.
Bo knew, everybody knew. It's hard to share this story, but I hope that in doing so, I can bring some peace and justice to some of the other survivors.
Today's press conference comes exactly 1 week after Michigan head coach Jim Harbaugh defended Bo Schembechler's record, saying, quote, nothing was ever swept under the rug.
He wasn't there in 69. He doesn't know about this stuff.
I mean, yeah, I'll be honest with you. Look, Bo Schembechler, sure, he wasn't. He sure he was a good coach at Michigan, but unfortunately, with his past and stuff like that, making these individuals go to the doctor and stuff like that, threatening them and stuff like that. It's like I said, it's just a double-edged sword when it comes down to it. That's my stating my opinion. That being said, look, I mean, look, I'm not defending what Bo Schembechler did, but the truth of the matter is, if they saying what was true, and like I said, they should have had some heads to the roll at Michigan back in the day. So once again, this is from ESPN. Go to ESPN.com. Okay, next one is okay, Russell Wilson says there were unfortunate frustrations after last season. He wants to stay in Seattle. I think if he does, because he gives the Seattle Seahawks a legitimate chance to win games. So I think if it's like I said, if it's ball down frustration, well, if I think he's going to stay in Seattle, Russell Wilson. So once again, this is from ESPN. Brady Henderson is the wrote this piece. So once again, this is from ESPN. Go to ESPN.com. Okay, let's see what else we got. Okay, Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard says the Clippers up to the challenge, down 2-0 again. So it looks like they are up to the challenge against the Utah Jazz. So that's probably what's so. I mean, that game 2 was probably no slouch, but I'm pretty sure game 3 will be a doozy. So once again, it's from ESPN. Go to ESPN.com. Okay, let's see what else we got. Okay, okay, Russ, Jameis Winston, even hungrier to embrace the second chance with the Saints. Yeah, I think so. I absolutely think he is going to be up to the challenge if they name him the quarterback for the Saints in the for the regular season. So I look at it this way. If he can come in and be a viable asset to the Saints, that will be a big plus for the Saints. So once again, this is from you can follow this is let's see, Mike Triplett. Follow him at ESPN. Okay, Euro Championship action today. Turkey and Italy will play. There'll be a 2 p.m. game. So let's okay, in the Super Regional, it is 1-0 Vanderbilt. So 1-0 Vanderbilt, bottom of the third. Also, other regionals tonight and into the weekend. The Stanford Regional, Texas Tech will take on Stanford. The Lubbock Regional, Texas Tech will take on Stanford. Mississippi will take on Arizona. Also, North Carolina State will take on Arkansas in the Fayetteville Regional. So that's going to be and also LSU will play tonight against Tennessee. That'll be in the Knoxville Regional. So Knoxville Regional and so the Super Regionals will be getting kicked off this weekend. So we'll move along from ESPN, and we'll go over to, let's see, we'll go over to local sports, and we'll switch this out. Okay, local sports. Let's go to the local sports. LSU names Brad Davis as the new offensive line coach. So it looks like he is going to be named the new offensive line coach that came out on Thursday. So Davis spent joined the LSU staff after spending the past 4 seasons in the Southeastern Conference with Florida. He also had 2 years with Missouri. Also, he has his coaching career. He has coached 14 offensive linemen. They were all conference. So it looks like I'm glad to see the LSU offensive line coach coming into reality. So it's going to be a tough task to get the offensive line going. But the truth of the matter is, it's needed. So Brad Davis named the offensive line coach at LSU. So this is from Crest City Sports. Go to crestcitysports.com. See what else we have. So I'm going to go to the previous. I'm going to hit this button right here. Okay, 12-team playoff is proposed by the college football playoff working group. I think they should expand the playoffs because look, you got the top 4 teams going in year after year. You got your Alabamas, you got your Clemsons, you got your Ohio States, and many more. But the other teams like Cincinnati for last year, Cincinnati had a chance to get into the playoffs, but unfortunately, they were left out of the playoffs. So I think this is going to be a good investment to have 12 teams vying for the national championship. And out of those 12 teams, you might get the same teams. You might get the same team, but you might get a different group coming in to participate in the college football playoff. So it would be 5 versus 12. So it would be a good matchup. So the higher seeds from the higher conferences will play each other. Say, for instance, if it's 1 versus 2, 3 versus 4, 4 versus 5. So that would be a good investment because look, I think to have this 12-team playoff would be good. I mean, I know a lot of people say it's all about the money and stuff like that. It would have never happened. But the truth of the matter is, it should happen. Because look, I mean, you got, like I said, you got the UCFs of the world. That's another team that gets left out. Also, if you got teams like Coastal Carolina, Liberty, that went undefeated this year, that they should have been considered for college football playoffs. But unfortunately, they're not. See, like the FCS has 16 teams in their playoffs year after year. They get a top 8. They get top 8 teams vying for those top 8 seeds. So my opinion is, let's go with it. Let's expand it. Let's continue to expand it. Let the like I said, if you have, like I said, you got the bowl games, you got the Cotton Bowl, you got the Peach Bowl, you got the Fiesta Bowl and Orange Bowl, and many more. That could be a big workout right there for the college football playoffs. So once again, this is from Crest City Sports. Go to crestcitysports.com. Okay, Cajuns and Antoine Jones to the 2021-2022 ULL roster. So he's 6'6" and 220. So it looks like he is going to be playing for the Warhawks. Cajuns. He's playing for the Cajuns. So he also was ranked at the 18th shooting guard in the nation. So they got him a pretty good shooting guard. So this is from Matt Sullivan. Follow him at he's the SID with Louisiana. So okay, New Orleans Athletics announced empower her privateers with Gail Benson would be the keynote speaker at the August 27 event. So that's going to be at August 27, 11:30. That will be on, I think it's going to be on the UNO campus or something like that. So Gail Benson will be the keynote speaker. So once again, this is from Crest City Sports. Go to crestcitysports.com. Okay, ex-Tulane and St. Aug guard Wade Mason is hired as the Georgia's men's assistant coach. So it looks like he's going over to Athens, Georgia to be the assistant coach at Georgia. So he's a former Tulane and former St. Aug star. He was a standout back in 1995 when they won the national championship. He also played for 2 seasons with Tyler Junior College, and also currently, for current Stephen F. Austin coach Kyle Keller. So he also helped Tulane get to a Conference USA, winning the national title, a national division title, and got an NIT berth back in 2000. So I think he's going to be a good investment for the University of Georgia. Okay, John Curtis coach Godfrey earns top coaching honors in Class 5A. So and all the Class 5 state baseball. So these are softball and baseball honor people. So and also in baseball, let's see. So we got one from Holy Cross. That's David Stevenson. He's from Holy Cross. He's on the 5A list for honors. Also, the coach Glenn Checker Heinem from Bob. So once again, this is from Crest City Sports. Go to crestcitysports.com. Okay, interview with Danny Reams, talking local American Legion baseball. So we're going to go ahead and play that audio for you. So we'll let you hear what Danny Ream had to say about American Legion baseball. So I'm going to go ahead and play that, get ready to set that up. in a second. So I'm going to share my screen and we'll share the audio.
Summer baseball taking place all over, whether it's playground, whether it's travel ball, and of course American Legion, the great tradition that's continued since 1924 and being played throughout mostly South Louisiana and certainly in our parts where it still thrives in terms of participation. And joining us now to talk a little bit about American Legion baseball, the head coach of the Gibbs Construction Cardinals independent team, and a team that under a different name a couple of years ago went to the World Series and has had great success. It's our comrade and friend from Crescent City Sports and the games we do there, and some games here on 106.1 FM as well. Coach Danny Ream. Danny, how are you?
Hey, Ken, doing good. Thanks for having me on.
Well, first and foremost, you played a game today. Talk about that.
We did. Just getting back home from a 12-1 victory against Townsend Home out at St. Charles Catholic. Good ball game. Broke it open late. It was a 3-1 game at one point, and Wayne Stein obviously runs a great program out there at St. Charles Catholic, and his kids play hard, and they get after it when you go out there. So it's never easy. We were just able to get a big inning in the top of the fifth, and that kind of propelled us to the win.
Your team is now 10-1. You haven't lost a game in state, right?
No, we haven't. We dropped one game this past weekend. We played a triple header on Saturday just because of the rain up in Hattiesburg. We were at Jones Community College. That was a beautiful facility to play the triple header at, and we took 2 out of 3 that day, so we did drop a game on Saturday.
And your team, before we talk about Legion as a whole, your team consists of players from several different schools. Talk about that.
Yeah, so basically, we're here because we're still a boys. Years ago, a lot of the prep coaches in the area just made the decision, and it's obviously their call to make, but they made the decision that they wanted to work with next year's, high school prep team in the summer and get those guys ready and let them see their positioning in the summertime, and they allowed their seniors to start doing other things. So we looked at the landscape back in 2016 and talked to Sidney Parsay, the state director, and he said he thought it could work based on, what we were looking to do. And we said, hey, let's kind of be like Coach Amadei up in the Gonzales area, where they take seniors from East Ascension and Dutchtown and St. Amant and Ascension Catholic and all those schools and put them together. Why can't we do that in New Orleans? And that's what we did. So this year we have seniors from Archbishop Rummel, Brother Martin, Holy Cross. We've got a couple from Pineville, one from St. Charles Catholic, and some other schools. So basically the same kind of thing as they do up there, we're doing here in the New Orleans area, taking these seniors that don't stay around the play at the prep schools anymore and putting them on an independent Legion team.
Talk a little bit about some of your key players, guys, that have been really good for you thus far.
Shoot.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great group of guys. I've been doing it a long time.
Okay, I'll be back in just a second. I have to make a phone call. So I will be back in just a second. So we will have the cameras turned off for a second. So we'll come back and we'll finish up this, with Danny Reams, the American Legion coach. So I'm going to go ahead and turn my camera off for a second. Call that up. Okay. Let's call me. Yeah, you just called? Yeah, I'm on. All right. All right. The free one, it's got not much free on it. Okay, we're back on live. We're back. So thanks. We're going to finish with Danny Reams talking about American Legion baseball. So we're going to go ahead and do that. So let's.
You go all the way back when we did our older New Orleans fight team a while ago. While I was on a senior, and I got that program started back around 2004. So I've been doing this a while in this age bracket. You know, the 17 to 19-year-old summertime age bracket, and this is one of the funnest group of guys that I've ever been around. Just they love each other. They love to play the game. They come out with a very business-like, professional attitude every day, ready to play the game the right way, and everything's happened for them. We've got from Brother Martin, Tyler Valino, who just committed to Delgado. Tyler Johnson, their catcher, he's having a great summer for us. We've also got Ben Harris and Cameron Sr. From Rummel, we've got Jake Cabeceras, who's going to UNO, Ryan Solari, who is headed to Loyola, I believe now. Is just, Logan Bertucci, Lance Johnson, and just guys that really play the game very well. From Bonville, we got Colin Durang, Mason Long, from St. Charles Catholic, Kate Brajon, from Fisher, we've got Trey Yusei. From Holy Cross, we got David Stevens, who is headed to UNO, Josh Orr, who's headed to Loyola. Lance Love from Holy Cross as well, even though Lance is still, working through his arm injury and everything, so we hoping for the best with him. But just, a lot of the top seniors in the area, that's really, what we look to do, to put together the top seniors in the area and try to make a run and try to get back to that World Series.
So talk about the local Legion program and how many teams are playing right now, and is it 2 districts? For the people that aren't aware of what's going on, please update them, give them some sort of perspective on what's happening locally.
Yeah, so as far as total teams, it's really as high as it's been in a while. Sydney Parfay's done a great job of adapting to, what's out there in the summer market now as far as travel tournaments and, just wanting to get that exposure about playing in those weekend tournaments at college campuses. So he decided that he was going to play Legion Monday through Thursday and then give those kids the weekend to go do that. For a team like us, we just stay together. We go play those tournaments as a team. But he did a great job with that. So it's a lot of schools to get in there. There's about 35 teams this year. So you'll have to be number 1 out of 35 in the state of Louisiana to move on to the regional in Montgomery, Alabama. The New Orleans area obviously has a lot of teams. Legion's still strong in this area. The North Shore has started to come back in the Legion. Lakeshore has a team. North Shore has a team. Slidell has a team. When you get out to Lafayette, they've got about 5 teams. They've had some programs come back for the first time this year. The Lone Drillers post is back in it this year. They got the Crowley Millers out there, St. Landry Bank Indians. So there's, a good presence of American Legion out in the Lafayette area. And then obviously in the Gonzales area, Coach Amade, who is a power that has been to the World Series before, Marty Luquette coaches them. Ascension Catholic got back in the Legion this year. And actually, Evie White down in Thibodeau got in the Legion this year. And that's a tribute, like I said, to Sydney for realizing what was going on and adapting with the landscape of changing times and things going on in the summertime in regard to this level of baseball. And, I think it's great. I see Legion, thriving at a level that we haven't always seen. It's just good to see all these new groups, jumping into it.
Well, I think it's a smart thing to have done, and I think it's a lesson to be learned also. Everybody's so adversarial in this world today. It's amazing. And we talked about this whole dynamic of quote-unquote travel ball hurting, if not ruining high school baseball for years, when the fact of the matter is, if people can find common ground and work together, then everybody can certainly succeed. The other part about that is it prevents you from having to go basically sell a young man against going to play for a travel team, because the opportunity exists to be able to do both.
Yeah, it does. The high school coaches, they realize that, and there's 2 different ways to do it. Some are doing it one way, some are doing it the other way. Some are just telling the guys, hey, you need to be dedicated to our summer school program Monday through Thursday, and then you can go play with the travel team of your choice on the weekend. And then you have other schools like Conville and Brother Martin, for example. They are playing as a school-based team through the Louisiana Knights organization on the weekend. So they're keeping it together kind of like we do. So either way, whatever way you go, you're still allowing these kids to play at LSU and Tulane and Southern Miss, and UNO and Southeastern and Nicholls State and all those parks on the weekends in front of college coaches, helping them, play their travel element, get in front of those guys, and hopefully it'll help open up doors, as a recruiting tool.
Yeah, I just think it's a smart move to go that route. I know the Knights play a lot of games at MGM Park in Biloxi. They fostered that relationship a couple of years back, and last year with the pandemic, they had it to themselves with no minor league baseball. So I just think it's good on the part of the entities to work together because, again, we're all comfortable in the chairs we sit in, right? We're all comfortable in doing what we've always done, and yet change is inevitable. And it's imperative for us to adapt because ultimately you got to listen to what the young men think and to what they say and to what they want to do, right?
Well, nothing stays the same. Things are constantly in motion in the world we live in, and things are going to adapt. And, you're going to have to move with the changes in times, and that's really what's happened here. I think our program is highly attractive, to the seniors because you really get the best of both worlds. You get to play the weekend showcase type tournaments at some of the top D1 facilities in the South on weekends, and then obviously we play American Legion to advance. So you got that as your midweek schedule, and then you get into the Legion playoffs, which are very exciting, where you're playing to advance, and you got to win. You got to be the top team in each tournament to continue to move on, and it's a great experience, and you can play on national television in front of 7,000 or 8,000 people in Shelby, North Carolina. So like I tell our guys, when we're trying to keep them from going somewhere else, when we start talking to them about this opportunity, I just tell them, hey, from what I've always seen, and I've been doing this age bracket a long time, I think our schedule is really the best of both worlds, and it gives you a chance to showcase yourself on the weekends, but also play a very tradition-rich, American Legion baseball at the same time.
I think it's great. Finally, I think the other thing that is really neat is that, when I was young, it was Shamrock Construction, right? They were the independent team. When they had schools that obviously didn't participate, but that's not what you have. You got schools that are participating. They just don't play their seniors and use it as development, as you mentioned. So you bring together kids from a lot of different schools, and I think that's neat. And the neatest thing about it is, I'm sure that this is an accurate statement. They get along very well, and it's a different world for them being able to play with different guys. Some of them they've been rivals of for years.
Yeah, they love it. Look, this team that we've got this year, all of our teams have been special and accomplished great things. This team this year, they just enjoy being at the park together. Once you get them together, it doesn't matter if they went to Brother Martin or Rummel or Hunteville or St. Charles Catholic or Fisher or whoever you got. We've had a lot of veteran players over the years. Once they get together, look, these guys are friends. They're going to be lifelong friends. They're going to be in business together. They're going to stand at each other's weddings. All that stuff with the split stuff and prep and all the stuff that we've had to go through in the state. It's refreshing to see our team in the summer when you mix everybody together, and it's just really good kids and really good players out there for the love of the game and trying to play hard and do something special. And they love it. I mean, it's just it's a great thing to be around, and I really enjoyed the structure of this program that we started back in 2016.
Follow him on Twitter at DREAM8, that's DRIEHM8. Of course, you can follow Gibbs Construction Cardinals on Twitter as well. They're 10-1 right now. American Legion Baseball, as good as it's been in quite a few years, and that's a good thing because it's for a good cause, and it's great for kids to have the opportunity. Danny Ream, thank you.
Yeah, like I said, American Legion Baseball, I mean, these youngsters, I'm going to tell you, they're second to none when it comes down to playing. I mean, sure, they might not get on a major league roster right away, but their talents are absolutely being known. So I think it's a great investment for these young kids to have this American Legion Baseball. So once again, Danny Ream talking about American Legion Baseball here in the New Orleans area. So once again, this is from Crust City Sports. Go to crustcitysports.com. We're back with Okay, Lee and Englehart named college baseball freshmen All-Americans. Congratulations to the two Tulane players, Bennett Lee and Chase Englehart. So they were named freshmen, All-American freshmen. So Lee earned it with his 440 batting average. Also, Englehart as well. He had a 299 batting average as well. So that was pretty consistent. So once again, this is from Crest City Sports, crestcitysports.com. Also, Braden Jombert named the National Junior College All-American selection. Congratulations to this young man playing for the Del Gallo team. He was hitting 394, 47 games. He also had 16 home runs, 16th in the nation. He also had 65 hits and 71 RBIs. Defensively, he had a 989 fielding percentage, pretty good. He had 252 putouts. So congratulations to Braden Jombert for getting the National Junior College All-American selection. This is from Crest City Sports. Okay. Must have changed since LSU's regular season game with Tennessee. That was a couple of game one. The Balls won that game 3-1 back on March 26th. And then Gavin Dugas, top of the second, hit a home run off of Chad Dallas. So I think this game tonight is absolutely going to be a good game between these two teams because, look, they're SEC opponents. And who can ask for anything more from these two SEC opponents in games? So once again, this is from Crest City Sports. Go to crestcitysports.com. Okay, you have any questions, comments, concerns? If you got any topic you want me to discuss, you can post it in the Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter comment section, or if you want to come on video chat about anything in the world of sports you got on your mind, you can come in through the StreamYard links. They're posted on all three networks. So we'll go ahead and we'll move along here. And we will wrap this up. So let me switch this out, and we'll wrap this up. We're about 40-something minutes in. So I'm going to go ahead and go through the Twitters, and we'll go through all the Twitter. Okay, let's put this up on the screen. Okay, congratulations to Ricky Adams for making the 5A softball all-mention. Also, Tyler Canales and Trent Gonzalez making the 5A baseball all-mention. So once again, local players here in Chalmette making strides. So for those baseball teams. So once again, this is from Chalmette Owl. Follow them at Owl Chalmette. That's Owl Chalmette. Okay, this is from FL Teams. FL Teams followed Isaac's group. Pat Riley made waves with his comment regarding LeBron James. He would leave the key under the doormat. Riley said he was fined $25,000 So look, I'll be honest with you. Look, Pat Riley. Look, Pat Riley. Like I said, look, if he wants to come back to the Miami Heat, let him do it. I mean, look, and I'm pretty sure Pat Riley can make that happen. I'm pretty sure he can make that happen because he's the president of the Miami Heat. So look, I mean, look, they should have never fined Pat Riley for what he said. So as clear as day. So once again, this is from FL Teams. Follow them at flteams.com on their website and also on Twitter. Just see what else we can cover. Okay, once again, another FL Teams on Twitter. Miami Heat are in search for another star to pair up Bam Adebayo. So it looks like it could most likely be Damian Lillard or Bradley Beal. So it looks like it most likely can happen. If it does, then it would be a great investment for the Miami Heat to have those players paired up with those two individuals. So if that can happen. So once again, this is from FL Teams. Again, follow them at FL Teams on Twitter. Okay, Julio Jones in his new threads. Looks like Julio Jones looks like he's working out with the Tennessee Titans after they made a deal, got him acquired from the Atlanta Falcons. So it looks like I think he's going to be an excellent player for the Tennessee Titans. So once again, this is from PFF Fantasy Football. That's PFF Fantasy Football. Let's see what else we have. Okay, PFF College, Derek Stingley is likely to get snaps at wide receiver. Yeah, I'm pretty sure if they could get him in there at wide receiver, he could fit in the offense. I know he was a good defensive back with LSU, but if they could put him in as a wide receiver position, that can help him as well. So a lot of things will happen during the LSU football training camp. So once again, this is from PFF College. Go to PFF College. Okay, what were KD and PJ Tucker saying to each other? So that's what they're showing that. This is from dscore.com. It looks like they were both jarring with each other. That was in yesterday's game. Okay, one of the top jobs in all of college baseball do you think LSU is hiring? Yeah, I'm pretty sure they are because they're looking for a coach that can replace Paul Mainieri because once he wins this super regional tonight or loses it this weekend or the season's over, he'll be retiring. So I think a lot of a lot of coaches are looking to consider to come to LSU. A lot of them. But some of them, they might have some dirt on them and stuff like that. And they might have a little issues and stuff like that. So I kind of, like I said, whatever coach they could get. I mean, sure, they was looking at, I think it was Chris Riley from Oregon State. I mean, they had, I heard a lot about him, but I don't know if I don't think it will be a good coach at LSU, to be honest with you. I mean, they're looking for somebody that can get to the regionals, get to the super regionals, and also get to the World Series. See what else we can discuss before we head out of here. So, okay, the reports the Lakers are expected to look into a trade for Kyle Kuzma. So it looks like that most likely going to happen. Kyle Kuzma going to another team. So most likely going to happen sooner rather than later. This is from Hoop Central. You can follow them at Hoop Central on Twitter. Let's see what else we have. And we'll wrap it up for today. Okay, Travis Etienne's 2021 projections. He has 206 touches, 1,052 yards. He also has 7 total touchdowns. So that's their projections for Travis Etienne for the Jacksonville Jaguars. It's from PFF College. Okay, we'll go ahead and wrap up. Okay, let's wrap it up. Okay, once again, thanks for joining us for this edition of Sports Talk with Kerry Wehmeyer Show. We'll be back later on this evening with LSU and Tennessee. We'll have game audio coverage only from Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. You will not be able to access the video because we cannot show the video during the broadcast due to copyright rules and regulations between those 3 networks. So we don't want to get copyrighted or get kicked out of those 3 networks because we decided to run the video. We cannot do it. We will have game audio coverage. If you want to come in, listen to the game, you can do that. It's going to be on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter tonight. We'll be calling the game. So once again, everybody, have a good rest of your Friday. And we'll be back later on this evening for LSU and Tennessee.